The summers are getting hotter out here. I just know it.
Call the live one-on-one psychic hotline for your private reading anytime. First, we have the weather, and surprise, surprise, it's gonna be hot. Aquarius, with a new moon approaching, it's your turn to shine without apology.
After the accident that killed Mum, Dad never walked again. Sometimes I could feel her watching over me. I hated that feeling.
Okay, let's take it from the top.
It's me.
It's you.
I'm the guy.
You're the guy. And you're handing yourself in.
That's what you want.
Cut the shit, kid. You tell me where you really got this from.
It was hanging from the windscreen wiper of my car, next to your wife's back teeth.
Cassandra wasn't fooling anyone but herself.
I'm sorry.
Addicts have but one loyalty, to themselves and their all-consuming drug habits.
Damn. I missed.
Still don't believe me?
When circumstances threaten their freedom to pursue those habits, behaviors motivated by the most primitive self-preservation and survival of the fittest.
I can show you where the car is.
Stand up. I need you to take him somewhere. On your own.
My own?
Yes. Here, take this. He does anything odd, he sense anything strange, you point and click.
Point and click.
Shoot him. No, fuck that. Give it back. Charlotte, you look stupid. Give it back. He's going to show you something. When you get there, you call me straight away. Understand? Understand?
Yes.
Do you have a prediction for what the Summer 65 FM Top 50 is going to sound like? You and a friend could be spending 3 weeks in sunny Spain with 10,000.
Dad said you had something to show me.
Break out your crystal ball, tea leaves, and
We'll get in.
then call
In the back.
to go into the running to win the expensive paid trip to Mars.
What do you do when you actually find what you're looking for?
Psychic powers. Call the live psychic
Do you just stop?
hotline and talk with a gifted psychic anytime, 24 hours a day.
Give up? Look for something else?
Call the live psychic hotline. Call toll free 1-800-445-796 and speak with a gifted psychic who can help you overcome your fears, predict opportunity, and help you find true love. Psychic
I think you let it go,
speak with you live.
and you find it again.
Answers and connect with someone so gifted you'll feel good just talking to them. Call the live psychic hotline toll free 1-800-445-796.
There it is.
Is it there?
Yes.
Charlotte, listen to me carefully. Listen.
Sometimes when bad things happen, you don't see it coming. Other times it's in the air.
You need to show me exactly what you did when you left the car.
Why?
He wants to know.
What more proof does he need?
He wants to know how you did it.
How I did it seems pretty obvious, don't you think?
How you got away. He wants to know how you got away.
How I got away was so easy. It was embarrassing. I wanted to say there was more, but
Ran where?
it just was what it was. Through the bush. Wipe down the prints. Take the number plates and serials. Run.
Where?
I don't know.
And did you keep walking?
I even got picked up straight away. The hardest part was listening to the truck driver talk for a couple of hours about fucking freestyle motocross.
Where did he drop you?
At a motel. Then I stayed the night at a motel near the beach, and it was all over.
What was it called?
The Sunset Shacks.
The night of the accident, there was a thunderstorm. 4 inches of rain. It washed half the town away, and Max's tyre tracks with it. By the time the police showed up, they didn't even know Mum was there. She was completely submerged. In mud.
I've had some time to think things over. I've decided not to kill you. Nor do I want you to turn yourself in. But at the same time, you're not going free. And you will be punished. We're not so different, you and I. I've killed people before too, you know. I once shot a man clean between the eyes. Somehow he kept moving and talking. He even sat on a fucking chair and tied his shoelaces. I've been looking for you for quite some time.
My name is Max Woods. I'm a locksmith from the goldfields. I wasn't drunk. I was just passing through.
Any of your friends know that you're here?
No, I don't have any friends.
6 years is a long time to grow a conscience, wouldn't you say? You have an excuse for that?
No.
Charlotte, I know this is unusual considering the circumstances, but Max is going to be staying with us for a little while. He's agreed to help me with something. Sweet dreams, Max. You did good today. I'm proud of you. I want you to have this.
Thank you.
Open it. Do you like it? It's a uniform your mother used to wear, at a part-time cleaning job. Try it on.
Dad used to be a detective. For a while after the accident, he was convinced he could find Mum's killer. Nobody took much notice, though. Part of Dad seemed angry that Max had found him rather than the other way around.
Do you want me to clean the house?
No, I want you to create a character.
Another part was excited to meet him. By the end of it, they both agreed on something. I got that feeling she was watching me again.
If someone wore that kind of uniform and had that kind of hair, what kind of person might they be?
Maybe someone who's hard on their luck. Too many children. Definitely a broken marriage, and she'd smoke too. Maybe she'd be French.
No, she's not French.
Bonjour.
Charlotte, she's not French. But she also knows all about plumbing.
Plumbing.
That's right. All you need to do is use your gift of extra sensory perception, and you and a friend can be spending.
Put this on in case someone sees you. And don't speak to anyone.
You must be Charlotte. Oh, took me about 2 hours, but I found the stuff your old man's looking for. Records from January 12th, 6 years ago. They're the only ones that booked in.
I'd only ever stayed in a motel once. I was 11. I remember a boy in the room next door. He told me the sun made him blind.
Which one is it?
It's that one there, the blue one.
During the day, he couldn't see at all. In the dark, he could see like normal. Called himself Dracula. Because he got up to bad stuff at night.
Joe speaking.
G'day, Joe. I'm going to cut straight to the chase. My name's Edmund Bloom. Ever heard of me?
Oh, yeah? Dicey cop, broken spine. Quite a whisper.
Oh, Joe, that's a bit hurtful. Now, I need someone to run a story for me and who won't call me crazy.
No promises.
I had this dream a few nights ago.
I know this sounds nuts, but bear with me.
Living by the ocean is nice, if you can get used to all the rust. Even when things wash up dead, it still looks right. Like the sea has gently placed them on the shore. Inland is mostly roadkill. That's different. They look the way they should. Like they died painfully.
What are you doing here? I told you not to be seen by anyone. Where's your hat?
I just left it in the car. Just seeing if you're okay.
Doesn't matter, you did exactly what I told you not to do.
Just worried about the plan.
That's for talking back. And from now on, you do what you're told.
I guess most things die painfully. It doesn't seem fair that the last few minutes you've got are probably filled with terror, pain, or sadness. You go through your whole life trying to avoid those feelings. Then suddenly there's a bullet in your chest. Or you're being eaten alive.
It says that 2 people checked into the shacks that night. Steve Linder and Jesse Atlas. Your name's not even on here.
I wasn't gonna check in under my real name. I booked in under the name Jesse Atlas. I just took it from that day's newspaper headline.
What was the headline?
Some kind of tragedy from that day. Maybe a boat accident or...
Shark attack. Dad wanted me to give this to you. It's good.
Catching a criminal can be difficult, but it's never impressive. I mean, who caught Ted Bundy? Who caught fucking John Wayne Gacy? Who gives a shit?
Hey, sweetie, we have a guest. There's some coffee in the pot.
Ask any cop. You've forgotten in a week.
Come in.
Detective Sophia.
Yeah, I know who you are.
Inspirational story. Unfortunate victim standing up against the lazy, incompetent...
No, you misread it. Didn't say standing up.
Sorry, rising up.
What you want to catch is people's attention. A premonition or a vision, a dream. People listen to that stuff. They don't necessarily believe it, but they like it.
He knew there'd be no point catching Max on his own. People would always sooner believe Mum over him, even if she was dead.
Sophia.
Charlotte.
Hey, did you enjoy the Maritime Festival the other night?
Sorry?
Opening night. You were watching the fireworks near the docks. You were wearing a blue cardigan over a pink dress, but you had different hair, short and dark.
No, that wasn't me. I stayed home all night.
Too many facts obscure the truth. Most cases are so fucking boring. A confession or a witness account, it's just forgettable bullshit. People prefer a bit of darkness. You certainly fit the description. Wouldn't you agree? These are your mother's clothes. Disgusting. So, how do you plead?
Guilty.
I thought so.
I'm sorry.
Not yet, you're not. If you refuse to stay in bed at night, the punishment will fit the crime.
There's this place I try to go when I can't get to sleep. It's nothing special. It's just flat earth stretching on forever around me. No one can see me. Nothing can touch me. Dad said the necklace needed to look rusted for the reporter and the cops. It upset me to see it that way, especially since we'd only just gotten it back.
Go over the clues. I try and remember more about what happened that night. And I figure, if he ran in this direction from where he left his car, it's possible he would have hit this road here. And the time that it took him from where he left the car means he would have got there around 11 p.m. Now, this is where it gets spooky. I had a dream last night with Juliet. I'm sitting out by the pool and she's got these cards in front of her. She turns over the first card. There's a picture of a pendant. Thing is, it's the same pendant she was wearing the night she was killed. The very same pendant that was reported missing from the hit and run scene 6 years ago.
It's very weird.
Well, it gets weirder. She turns over the next card. There's a picture of a great white shark. And I look out into the pool, the fucking thing's in the water. So next day, I start tracking down some of these motels and roadhouses along this stretch of road to try and get records of anyone that booked in late that night. And there was one. In a place that rents beach shacks. Now, you ever heard of a Jesse Atlas?
No.
Well, the poor son of a bitch was attacked and killed by a great white, bitten in half, the very day before Juliet and I were hit by the car.
It's very strange and all, but I don't see it has any relevance to what we're talking about now.
Well, Joe, it just seems that it would have been hard for him to have booked into a motel that night, that's all. Especially being in two fucking pieces. Someone was booked in under a fake name that night that they lifted from that day's headline. Exercise time.
Coming up next, we have a very special guest who claims to have a very special gift. Evan, a detective was involved in a tragic gun accident 6 years ago that sadly killed his wife, Juliet, and left him paralyzed in the waist down. Recently, however, he has
My name's Francis West, and I'm
his wife.
I have a few issues with this.
I
don't know how you found that car, but it definitely wasn't a part of the dream.
Edmund was totally insane, but he wasn't a total fool. He had a plan.
Now let's get this story straight. When you arrived at the motel, you accidentally dropped the pendant down the drain.
And it wasn't just this bullshit about Juliet and the tarot cards. That was the sideshow. Carney showmanship for the psychic TV crowd. The real stuff would be found in the book he was going to release after I'd been caught, which would explain how he really did it. Precise detective work and endless research. Which, of course, would also be total bullshit. But what does that matter? He had me to help him bend the truth whichever way he saw fit. People could put holes in his stories and evidence all they liked, but as long as I was in on it, no one would ever know for certain how he did it.
As ridiculous as Dad's story was, it only seemed a fraction worse than the truth. Max had barely hidden his car. He'd obviously faked his name. He kept the number plates. He kept the necklace. Yet somehow, until he showed up at our door, not a soul knew he did it. It was as if he hadn't been running at all. Just waiting. Waiting to be caught. Waiting to be punished.
What are your thoughts?
Hard to say. Might have been 6 years ago, but this place feels like he's only just left.
There was a new story about what happened that night.
If you'd just killed someone,
and horribly maimed another. What would you do when you got here?
This time, when Max arrived at the motel, he accidentally dropped Mum's necklace down the sink. On the same day, Dad was showing the reporter where Mum's pendant was. A girl I used to go to school with had been found stabbed to death in her home. They caught the killer in an old factory. He shared the place with the body of a girl who went missing up north 5 years ago. Or what was left of her, I guess.
She looks so strange. Look at her eyes.
Dad was still the front page.
Finished searching that room yet?
We'll be out of your hair soon. So, you haven't remembered any more about the man who booked in here that night?
Only what I told the other cops. Called complaining about his television, said it was broken.
Which it wasn't.
That's right. When we checked it, it was fine.
Now, you describe him as an unassuming young man. You sure you can't remember any more details about what he looked like?
God, it was 6 years ago. Look, he didn't have a swastika between his eyes, if you know what I mean.
What are you doing there?
Scratch and win.
Yeah, you sure you're not just scratching?
Gotta be in it to win it.
What do you win?
Million bones, big boat, home makeover, you know, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah? Well, what will you do if you win the money?
Oh, fucking give it away. To charity.
Well, that's really nice. Good on you.
So what did you do when you left the beach shack?
I caught a bus the next day, and I headed home.
A bus?
Yeah,
Were you gonna hide the plates?
yeah, it crossed my mind.
Whereabouts?
The Sun.
Sorry?
The Sun. It's an old mine shaft just outside of town.
Oh, hi, Charlotte. How's things?
Hi, great. How are you?
Oh, a bit stressed, actually. Is your dad about?
He's actually busy at the moment.
Yeah, you all look, I really need to see him. I'll find him.
I'll get him for you.
No, look, I'll find him.
Fits together like a fucking watch. Detective Valmont, what brings you here?
I was doing the crossword.
Charlotte, could you please show the detective back inside the house and I will meet with her when I've got sufficient vitamin D?
With all due respect, Mr. Bloom, you're going to have to surrender the pendant or it's withholding evidence.
Hey, my stuff is your stuff.
Look, can we please talk about this somewhere more appropriate? Inside my own house, maybe?
Your wife was very beautiful.
Never heard a bad word about her.
People didn't like you so much, though, did they?
Come again?
People, they didn't like you.
Hold your breath, hold your breath. Dive in.
So have you got another teaser for me on what happens next?
I don't know yet.
Well, I reckon that he caught public transport the next day. There's a bus that stops near the motel and heads north.
Or he hitchhiked.
I don't think so, not this guy. I've just got a feeling.
When I was old enough, Mum made me learn first aid. I only remember two things. A fast heartbeat is bad for snake bites. And when people are trapped in a fire, they don't always burn to death. Sometimes their insides get so hot and blistered that their lungs fill with their own fluid. And they drown.
You could have drowned today, but you didn't. You ignored that voice inside saying, I'm just a worthless fuck-up wasting time and oxygen. Maybe I should just die. That can't have been easy to ignore, Max. But you did, and you held on to see this thing through. I respect that, Max. I'm going to let you in on a little secret.
Juliet's still alive, Max.
You're fucking crazy.
Come again.
I'm sorry. I'm pretty rattled after today. Drowning's pretty exhausting.
Yeah, well, you should try getting hit by a car. It's a fucking marathon.
I would have killed for the pain to go away. Until I couldn't feel my legs. Now I'd kill for it to come back again.
Look, Max, I'm sorry I made that joke, okay? I do that sometimes. It's just my way of, dealing with what happened. Paramedics do the same thing, to help with the horror.
Yeah, well, whatever works.
Yeah. Well, I'm off to bed. I'll see you in the spring. Max said he almost drowned today. Saved his life.
I almost left him.
I would have been very angry if you'd done that. After all, he's almost as innocent as me and your mother. He didn't know it would happen any more than we did. He tried to get away with it, but he manned up and he came clean.
Now, listen to me carefully. Tomorrow you take Max back to where he came from. I want you to follow him to a mine shaft nearby called the Sun. Don't be seen by anyone. And when you get there, you make sure he does exactly what he's supposed to. We're getting closer now. The last clue's been set in motion. People are starting to listen. Soon, they'll start to wonder.
What about that detective? I'm just worried that she might start to figure it out.
Don't worry about her. She wouldn't be able to figure out a fucking egg timer. Now, even though you don't deserve a reward for saving Max, I'll allow it.
Can I have my pictures back?
No. You've well and truly lost that privilege. Because you did so well. Something even better. You get to sleep in my bed tonight.
Mum used to run a charity modelling competition for the girls in town. Somehow Dad's story had made her seem alive again and him seem tolerable. They asked Dad to present the winner that year. They'd never done that before.
Thanks, everyone. And thank you all for the support that you've given me during these difficult times. I just hope that I can prove to you all that justice is something worth fighting for. And whether you believe Juliet's helping me solve this crime or not, just remember, love is stronger than death. Myth is stronger than history. Hope is stronger than fear. Wisdom is stronger than ignorance. And dreams are stronger than reality. Whatever that means. Anyway, tonight's winner is... Where are you?
I'm heading home. We just dropped off the plate.
Where's Max?
I dropped him at a pub.
Turn around and pick him up.
But you said I couldn't be seen with
I
him.
don't care what I said. Pick him up and bring him home now.
Maxie, sweetheart, give us a kiss. Oh, I haven't seen you for a while. Where have you been on holidays? I guess that means you haven't needed any money recently.
3 years. I haven't seen you for 3 years.
Well, honey, you are over 25 now. What are you back for? It's not to move back home, is it? Because I don't live there anymore. I found someone. He sells jet skis. You'd really like.
Some stuff's happened recently, Mum.
What's happened?
Stuff that's made me want to talk to you about a few things.
What things?
Like me. And about the way that you treated Mason.
Mason?
The way that you left me to look after him by myself. Wasn't right? It's the one time you needed to step up and you didn't.
I love this song. Come and dance with your mum, Max.
I want to fucking dance.
Oh, Maxie, it's a fucking good song. Let's go and dance. It's a fucking good song. Come on, Max.
I want to dance.
Come on. You'll dance with me, won't you, son?
It's as if she wasn't there. On another planet. You wanted to prick her finger or slap her in the face. Just to see if she felt it.
I had a brother. He's dead now. I imagine I would have had more too had Mum not wised up to abortions. What can I say? She loves fucking. She had no choice, really. She was raised a strict Catholic. Every now and then, Mum would get drunk and tell me about my dad. The story always changed. He was a cop, then he was a Marine. He was even a fucking secret agent once. I eventually tracked him down. He shot wild dogs for a living. At least he had a gun, I guess.
Who's Mason?
What?
Mason. I heard you talking with your mum about someone called Mason. Sounded like he's dead. Who is he?
My brother.
And?
And he got sick.
How did he get sick? Did you poison him?
By accident.
He died slowly and painfully over 6 years.
When did he die?
What does it matter?
When?
Recently.
That's why you never came clean. You had to look after him.
I like to think that's the reason why Max never came clean about Mum. He never said that, though. I wish he had.
Can I tell you a story?
Charlotte, where the fuck are you?
That's no way to speak to your daughter.
What have you done to her?
Don't panic, Dad. She's sleeping. Now what's the problem?
Don't play dumb. The cops have your fingerprints. They're on the inside of a television set inside the motel room. You opened it up to fix the reception or something. The point is, the owner still has the fucking TV. Your prints on record for anything?
Yes. I got caught with weed when I was a teenager.
Why didn't you tell me about this? Now everything's fucked. Not going to say sorry this time? That's a change. Anyway, this is not over yet. I'll think of something new. We've just got a ticking clock is all.
I'm coming to kill you.
What?
I'm coming to kill you. I've seen the newspaper articles, and I know that you're onto me. So I'm coming to town to kill you. You have a dream, Juliet tells you I'm coming and that you'll be waiting for me.
And I disable you in my own house.
And then I confess, you find the plates to seal the deal.
And then, you're finally forgiven.
No. You forgive Charlotte.
What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about. You blame her for the accident, not me. You're never to see her again. She's free.
You are a cold son of a bitch after all.
Do we have a deal?
Any other terms?
You do it now.
Something washed up on the shore once. It didn't look like anything I'd ever seen. It was all spikes and teeth. I couldn't tell if it was that way to attack things or to protect itself. I would have killed it, but I didn't want to get that close. I just walked away, hoping it would die.
You okay?
I'm fine.
Should hit the road.
No, I'm not gonna go home for a while. While I'm all the way out here, I might as well look around. No rush for me to be back.
It's not much out here.
You can take the bus.
You sure you're okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just tired. Yeah.
Shit.
No, I'm fine, really.
Oh, fuck, it's Mum.
When I was a kid, I thought seawater was actually blue.
I'll get rid of it.
Oh, what? No. Don't worry about it. Just leave it.
I tried to take some home with me once, but it just looked like I was carrying around a jar of my own piss. I've got memories like that. And they're beautiful, but they change the closer you get to them. It's best just to leave those ones alone. Let them live in the dark.
Hitch into town, try to be seen by as many people as you can. It won't hurt to be seen around my place either, as if you're casing the joint. Book into a motel, then go to a hardware store and buy a hunting knife. Pick the meanest fucking blade you can find. Meanwhile, I'll tell the newspaper all about my latest dream. An eerie nightmare which involves a death card, a mysterious man, and Juliet trying to warn me. Something bad is coming.
The plan was that I break in through the front door and head for his room to kill him in his sleep. He'd be waiting for me around the corner, so as I'm about to knife him, he puts a bullet in my leg. Then once I'm down, he calls the cops and tells them he shot an intruder. They show up, I get arrested, and it's all over. But I knew what he really had planned for me.
You can't remember everything about someone when they're dead. You try your best, though. Mum told me if I dropped my comb while combing my hair, something bad was coming. I used to grip my comb so tight my knuckles turned white. I still do. Once Dad hit Mum for messing up dinner. I remember crying all night. Mostly because I felt like she deserved it. I have to hold on to that memory. Like the rest.
His name's Steve Linder, an electrician from Geraldton. Says he knows nothing about the hit and run and was merely staying at the motel on the way to the southwest.
How does fingerprints get in the television?
Get this. Says he was trying to open the door because he thought it was his room. When the guy answered, he noticed he'd been pulling his television apart. He offered to fix it. After all, he's an electrician, right?
Motherfucker. You knew they weren't your prints and you sailed me up the river. Why'd you do it, Max? As a bargain to let Charlotte go. You think you're saving her? Creepy, Max. Very creepy.
I'm still prepared to hold my end of the bargain, if you're still prepared to hold yours.
What, that I never see my daughter again?
That's right.
You're obviously not a parent.
What do you mean?
Anxiety of influence, Max. Everyone knows that kids do the exact opposite of what you tell them.
He was staying in one of the other rooms.
Yes.
Where did he say he was at the time of the accident?
On the road.
He's telling the truth. It's not him.
But we've got his prints.
It's not him.
I just hope there's not too many jobs that need urgent attention around the house. That could be a real hassle for someone like you.
Edmund, please, I'm sorry.
I'm sure you'll survive though, Edmund. After all, no one knows better than I do that you're a survivor. She's not coming back.
My pension will barely cover a carer. You remember that? Now, it's only a matter of time before they realise their big arrest is a white elephant. And you've been seen all around town. Every cunt will wonder what you were doing here while I was solving the mystery. So let's keep this ending, okay? Did you get the knife?
Yeah, I got the knife.
Good. Give it a couple more days. Then we finish this thing.
Western Australia is famous for two things: sunburn and shark attacks. This makes the beach a dangerous place to visit.
You got the right idea.
What's going on?
I swear I saw a massive shark out there.
You're kidding.
Nah. Would have been about 4 meters, I'd say. It's definitely great white. It's got to be the same one.
Same one.
What, didn't you hear? A fisherman got taken yesterday. He got bitten in half.
Is that it?
Where?
Out there. To the left. It's heading out to sea.
Listen, I don't normally do this, but me and some mates were having a bit of a party tonight out near the watchtower. You keen?
Why not?
I can help you with that when we get back if you want.
Oh, it's okay. I'll probably be asleep anyway. And you guys won't get back till late.
Are you kidding? These police balls are so boring. Any excuse to get out early.
Come on, Julie, we're late.
Okay. Bye, honey. I love you.
Bye.
Be good.
I miss you. And I'm sorry.
You did this.
Bullfighter. Madrid. Gored to death right in front of me. I don't know if it was the drugs I was on at the time. But for some reason, it gave me a hard-on I couldn't get rid of. Eventually, I headed for the red lights. Screwed everything with a pulse. Even a fucking amputee. Both legs. I got mugged in the end. Surfaced the next day barely breathing, covered in blood. Do you know what para siempre means, Max? Forever. Para siempre was written on the side of my cock when I woke up in the sun. Do you know why I remember that? Because the fucking thing was still hard. Hanged men would be found with these irrepressible erections after their necks had snapped. Back in the day, they called it angel lust. You know how I learnt that? Because the same way I woke up that day in Spain was the same way I was found after you left me in the dirt with a broken spine. Half dead. But carrying a fucking hard-on that would have frightened the Spanish Inquisition. Some things just don't die, Max. Remember that if you get any funny ideas about what you're supposed to do tonight. I'll see you soon.
I could no longer see any bad in killing Edmund.
It's open.
It was only good.
We need to talk. I'm at such a loss over this whole thing. I think it's time to look to the stars.
In a weird way, there had been a good side to killing Juliet.
Come on.
All my life, I'd always felt bad about something,
Don't want to play?
although I wasn't always sure what.
Juliet, can you hear me?
From her death onwards, I had something. I had her face.
Has Edmund been honest with the police about this whole thing? Did the killer really drop your pendant down the sink at the Sunset Shacks Inn? Were you ever afraid of Edmund? Did Edmund ever give you reason to be afraid? Would you like to talk about his relationship with Charlotte? No, she doesn't want to talk. she does have one other message for me.
The electrician had my face too. I'd bumped into him at least 7 or 8 times since that night. All over the place, mostly roadhouses.
Oh, for fuck's sake. God, you're a bitch.
He had no idea where I lived. We had no mutual friends. And he knew nothing else about me. But it wasn't going to take much more digging to figure it out. Whatever happened, I was definitely going down. I just needed to make sure I wasn't going to be alone.
You're looking for Max, aren't you?
No.
Be honest with me, Charlotte. You've fallen for him, haven't you?
No. I just want you to stop what you're doing. You don't have to forgive him, but just let him be punished properly.
That's what tonight's all about, Charlotte.
Where is he?
He'll be back here soon. Now, what about you? You want to come back home? Come on. Help your old man upstairs. We'll talk about it.
I used to like the heat. I hate it now. The grass can't grow. Cars break down. The sand hurts your feet. The light hurts your eyes.
I want a bigger room. And I want to be able to stay out at night.
Now, honey, you're making me nervous. Can you wheel me back from the edge, please?
And I want a part-time job in town.
Charlotte? Charlotte! Wheel me back!
Where's Edmund?
He's not here.
Where is he?
Does it matter? You're free.
Free. We had a plan.
Forget it. It's cancelled. He just wants you to move on.
What else did he say?
He said that it's not your fault. And even though you did the wrong thing, he forgives you.
What did he say to you?
He said that I'm a good person. And that if Mum was still alive, she wouldn't be angry at me for anything.
Do you forgive me?
You're not a bird. You're a mammal. You're supposed to live in a cave like a bat. You can leave whenever you want. But if this place feels like a cage, remember that it's also a home. Once you break through those bars, you're on your own. Forever.
It only took a few days after they found Dad for things to go back to normal. People stopped caring. The following week, there was a story about someone who'd been setting horses on fire with a tin of gasoline. He said at night they looked like giant fireflies. I never spoke to Max again. I wonder about him sometimes. People always say they don't want to die wondering. I think it sounds like a nice way to go.